Welcome into another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. I'm James DiVirgilio, and on today's episode, we'll take a look at Florida's defense versus Miami. Florida's defense has been the best unit on the Florida Gators football team this season, and that did continue in this game as they single-handedly kept Florida in this game essentially all the way until the late fourth quarter. It could have been over early given the struggles of Florida's offense, but Florida's defense answered the bell and limited a productive Miami offense to a very limited amount of production in this one until late. I'm going to take a look at a few plays in this video that highlight some of what Florida's defense was able to do. If you want to see the full film review, that is available on Patreon. Link is in the description, where $15 a month gets you full access to both the offense and defensive film reviews each and every week, all season long. Now, of course, this season has brought a lot of frustration, so these film reviews are not exactly a joy to watch, but as we say on the channel, the film never lies, and it does always give us the answers as to what exactly is going right when things go right, and to what is going wrong when things go wrong. Without further ado, let's take a look at some of these plays. All right, first play of the game for Miami. You're going to have a little motion in here, and then a counter run, a guard H-back counter off the edge. They're going to catch Florida here with positive numbers and a nice big gain. They're getting a first down from a first down. So nice opening film study. Florida going to play nickel, as they almost always do under Ron Roberts. They've got Denson sort of as your hanger defender here watching this sweep. And now they're going to go into the short side of the field with a really promising start here. Again, Florida's been susceptible against counter runs for quite some time. They've been better this year, but they're going to get caught here again. This is ideal if you're the offense. You want to see the traffic in here. Your flowing linebacker, who ideally, if you're Florida, you want to scrape hard here once you see this counter coming and get yourself right aligned. But this is a perfect look for Miami. Take on the block here. I've got a free blocker here, and then Jaden is going to set basically in the C gap. That's going to let this spill to the outside. But he's got a tough assignment there. Again, if he just goes to the outside, then he's got a chance to take anything in here. But I think ideally, once you lose your edge set here, you're better off trying to stop this slow-moving train from coming out here and then pushing this just like that, right? I think you're better off if you're Jaden, you just sell out here, and then you let this cut back up the field where you're going to have a lot of white jerseys to minimize the damage. He does turn the corner, and then Devin Moore ushers him out. But a good first play from Miami. Really a good design there, catches Florida into a favorable look for the Hurricanes. The very next play now, 1st and 10. Miami's going to motion again the receiver across Florida in their usual nickel split safety look here. Now, Florida can have Castell and or Thornton, depending on where it happens. The motion happens, could go this way, could be Thornton. Drop down and take this, as they will do that very often. Florida could also have the nickel take this here. So Miami's gaining two benefits by doing this early on. One, how does Florida want to defend Miami in this set? And then two, it does give Florida a chance to blow this coverage and get them an easy play, which is exactly what is going to happen here. As you're going to see that Denson is going to stay low on the motion man, but Castell is also coming down on him. That is absolutely not the plan here. We have no help. This could be a touchdown, or Thornton runs him down before the end zone, but this is a home run RPO for Miami right here. Just a walk-in tutty, but Jaden Robinson is going to absolutely save the day. Again, Florida blows this 100%. We have blown something here. And this is what you want on offense, right? We talk a lot about why I don't like Florida's offense. Well, one reason why is, when do you see this? Think of how many film reviews you've seen. How many times have you even ever seen this under Napier, where you get something like this? Just something as simple as this early on in the game, a scripted play, right? This easy, just a clean pocket, super easy throw, but Beck is not going to get this done. Now, look, if you're Beck, you've got to put more on this ball. This is an excellent play by Jaden. I mean, he's skywalking up here. I'm going to give him all the credit. But you have so much space. You just put this ball out over here. The further over here, the better. And he's off to the races, right? I mean, there you go. As it stands, Jaden Robinson saves what's going to be a big play, and Beck knows it. Beck's thinking, no way. Florida again. They're my kryptonite. I blew it last year. I'm blowing it already. But on 1st and 10, Florida dodges a bullet early on. Would have been two really successful plays from Miami out of the gate. The Hurricanes were in 3rd and 8 on their first drive. Now they find themselves in 3rd and 9 on their own 30 again, much like we saw LSU do in the second half. If Miles Graham wants to take away the inside here, then let's run a pivot, little return route here. and see if he can handle it. He is going to slip, but teams are going to keep doing this to Miles Graham. It's tough to handle because, look, Miles doesn't know if you're actually going to run this drag route. And if you're going to be too slow on that, that's going to be open, right? It's a tough call for a linebacker, especially when you're automatically putting yourself at a disadvantage by walling yourself off like this. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good idea to do this, but because Florida does it so consistently and so predictably, teams are starting to take these matchups one-on-one and living with the results. And here on 3rd and 9, that is what Florida is willing to live with. Now, Graham's an excellent cover guy. You're going to see him get a little bit lost here. Rewind the video just a touch here for you. As you're going to see the step in here, sell the in, sell that drag, and then whip it out, right? A nice little pivot there. And there goes Miles slipping, lost on the route, wide open, short throw. And then we need Devin Moore right here to come down and make a tackle, right? It's 3rd down and 9. Look, you don't want to come in here and just whiff and let him take off, but you also would like to stop him before the sticks. The weakest part of Devin's game, in my opinion, is tackling. Not that he can't line up and form tackle right here. He does, right? But to come downhill and tackle is a different thing. Does make a really nice wrap tackle there, but Miami gets what they want, and they get the first down. So that play happens because Miles Graham sets up on the inside and just does not win versus that return route there. That's a tough cover. But again, teams have been doing that more and more. Miami definitely saw that versus LSU. We've seen it twice already here on key downs. Another look here at this route. You're going to see again just a little pivot. Tough cover here on 3rd and 9. A lot of space. Miles trying to wall off the inside. Denson doing the same thing. Both trying to wall off the inside. Now you want the result that Denson gets. Denson gets the right result. Miles does not. So for a second, watch Denson, then we'll flip back. Look at Denson cover this, right? That's locked. That's locked. That's great technique by Denson there. But Denson's not a linebacker. He's going to be your nickel. He should be able to do that. For Graham, a tougher cover, but Graham's great at coverage. If he doesn't slip here, I think we're just fine. Right there, he overextends for sure, right? You don't want to see this step. You want to keep your feet underneath you. He's already got leverage. Right there, too big of a step, but he slides. If he doesn't slide there, I think he's probably close enough here to perhaps help Devin Moore make a tackle right there. But either way, he does get beat. He loses his one-on-one matchup on this route, and that turns into the first down for Miami right there. But good scouting by Miami. If a team is going to give you something and they're going to try hard to take one particular thing away, they're going to give you something else, essentially, right? And they take that and they convert another 3rd and long early on in this game. Another 3rd down and long here, 3rd down and 7. That is the sign of a defense that is successful success rate-wise, right? Putting you in a lot of 3rd and longs. That should lead to a lot of success. Miami would convert 50% of the 3rd downs in this game. And early on, Florida's not getting off the field when they would like to in these situations. And they're not going to get off the field here. Bunch set for Miami. We're going to come here, get the matchup versus, again, a linebacker, this time Jaden Robinson. And once again, sell the in. Take the out, right? But that's not the first read. The first read here is actually a man-to-man comeback route where Dijon is going to just erase that. I'll show you from a different angle what that looks like. You're going to watch Beck look up top first, check up to your top left right here. There he is. It's hard for you to tell at this angle, but he's looking here at Dijon. And that's not what he wants. He comes back around then to this route, which is, of course, open. We're good here. Lots of grass. Easy, safe throw. Put it right on him. And then first down. So Miami converts yet again on 3rd down and long. All right, from this angle, we can see a couple of things we cannot see on the other one. First, Beck is going to want to work this one-on-one matchup here with Dijon. Florida's going to keep a safety here to help as well, but that's going to get erased. Let's watch that first. Inside release. You're going to see Beck right now is eyeing this. Inside release, and then Dijon stays under him, which is perfect, because he's got safety help over the top. He's staying on the outside and under, right? Funneling to the safety, funneling to his help. And then when he tries to make this comeback right here, he wrong foots himself, a little bit of trip, then just goes down. So that's erased. That's not there. Let's rewind the film. And now look at the right side. So once Beck comes across here, he's going to look here, not like that, move to the right side. Now Miami's got really nice spacing here and a nice route combo as well. Florida's trying to play this 3-on-3, so good numbers for Miami. And they're also going to look to, of course, hit this same inside kind of pivot return here, this time on another one of Florida's linebackers. So we're going to come in here. I like that Jaden actually flattens out instead of staying walled off like we've seen it. Flatten out a little bit here so you can close down harder on this. Notice Miami's route combo here. This is going to be a huge play. Maybe a touchdown play depending on how Beck throws this ball, but it should be a big play. Plenty of grass to put this ball in here. Nice spacing between these three Hurricane receivers as we get to the timing of this, right? The timing of football offense is so important. And that's what you see here. This is good spacing, good space away from each other, right? A nice triangle there where it leads the quarterback to have good options. And if the safety stays where Castell is sitting, this ball can definitely be thrown outside the numbers without a doubt right there for a chunk play, a big play. Beck elects instead to take the safer play, knowing that Florida wants to wall off the inside. And then there it is. Put it right to him. Jaden's almost there. He's just half a step away from separating that and getting a win. But again, Florida probably dodges a bullet here, right? Either way, the sticks get moved again on 3rd and long. The Hurricanes efficient thus far early on 3rd and long. 3rd down and 4 now. Huge play in this game. Momentum hanging in the balance. Florida just trying to simply stay in this game to the extent they possibly can. The Gators are going to get a stop here, although it's going to be aided by an errant Carson Beck throw just by a little bit. Okay, Miami's going to run a nice concept here. We're going to send a shorter little in route followed by a dig route here and then a vertical and a vertical. So you're going to pull those safeties up over the top. You're going to attempt to pull Miles Graham down to cover this at the sticks. He has to cover that and then hope to hit this window throw right over his head in this alley that you are creating with the routes that you have sent out. That is exactly what happens. Protection holds up here for Carson Beck. Climb the pocket, deliver a strike. That is not a strike. That is not a strike at all. You can see the window here. It's here. He does not have that. Zings that through and misses a 3rd down and 4 opportunity. And the Gators get off the field and get a big time stop. Again, could have been 20-0. That running play was called back. Had a chance to convert here and they don't. Florida gets off the field and gets the ball back. Different angle here to show you this dig route. It's going to be right here in the window, what you're looking for. This is going to pull Graham down, and you're going to run over the head of your dropping linebacker, just like we talked about earlier. This is a good way to attack defenses. Notice how he's peeking over here. He's going to lose sight of where that receiver is. Then you've got him holding your safety so nobody can drop down. If your safety wants to come down here and take this bait, he's going to get beat over the top, right? So you've got a 3-level read here. 1, 2, 3, all up the middle, all in this window, making sure that you've got an opportunity. Beck reads it out and makes the correct read. This is right where you want this ball to go. It's just got to be a better throw. You know that he can't collapse on this. You know you've got the window on your dig receiver. There's your window. And again, he just misses the window. But it's there, right? That's there. Should be a conversion. Should be a chunk play. Beck misses it, and Florida gets off the field on 3rd down and short. All right, 1st down and 10 now, late 3rd quarter for the Hurricanes, still trying to increase their lead from 13. This is going to be a thing of beauty from the Gators and zone here in general, right? We're going to come down low on this side and make sure we're zoning off this quick read here. And then up top of the screen, redirect right there, reroute, redirect. There's Castell staying underneath and underneath coverage. And then you've got a hitch route here. As soon as Cormani sees that, right, he's reading the release the number 2 the whole way. He's going to release the number 2. Number 2 goes vertical. If number 1 does not go vertical, he's going to be able to help out over here. That's his role. Number 1 stays home. He's going to come and drop into that window there. So we're passing off our assignments very nicely. Here comes your vertical here. Safety's going to wind up taking care of that. And then once we get this action, let's go back and take a look at Carson Beck. Carson's reading this. Nothing is here right now, right? This is taken away. This is a throw where not a lot of space in here to make this throw. You'd have to basically drop this in over here, right? Very, very tough throw, especially in college to make that kind of throw. This has got absolutely nothing over there, and he's got nothing over here right now. So a whole lot of nothing at this point in time, which is why Carson simply elects to climb, and then right here thinks he has something. I think he doesn't see Cormani anymore, is what I think. He does not see Cormani. He sees grass, and he sees a safety who's in trouble, and that is true. So he's thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a big play. But Cormani has been lurking as Cormani's moved himself right here into the window, perfectly picking up the number 2 receiver now, which allows him to come underneath this route and rob it, right? But a lot of good stuff is happening in general. As soon as Devin Moore sees that Carson Beck climbs, he's going to rotate here to help come underneath this route. So really high-level stuff from the Gators. And high level, I mean execution-wise for the Gators in zone here. A lot going on. This point in time, obviously it's first down. Carson Beck, just take your check down or just run and pick up 5 yards. But Carson Beck, shades of what happened last year, about to lose his mind here. And Miami's basically going to shut down Carson Beck for the rest of the game after this one for all practical purposes. They saw the same look in his eyes that you saw on TV after Cormani picks him off right here. Beautiful pick. That's just an excellent play by 25. I mean, that is a high-level play right there from 25. And the Gators get the ball back, and they find themselves very much in this game. Miami gets the ball back one last time, and that's going to do it for me in this film review. Billy Napier just drops yet another one. Insert all the stats about all the things Billy Napier has fumbled statistically with regards to the record as a Florida head coach against opponents of a certain skill set, against opponents on the road, against opponents in general, against rivals, so on and so forth. Seemingly doesn't end. But Miami gets another win, 2 in a row over Napier, both of them in significant fashion. Although this one was much closer than the score, of course, would indicate. The defense performed much better than the score would indicate. And Florida's got a lot of talented players, especially in that front seven, that are young, that showed out in this game. And if Billy Napier is to leave and Florida cannot retain all of them, which of course you really cannot retain all of them on any team nowadays, there are going to be several players that opposing coaches will want to take a look at, as Florida's got a lot of talent on this roster. And overall, the defense playing well as a unit and playing well individually, which is certainly good to see, and certainly not the same state of affairs as the offense. Well, as always, I hope you still enjoyed this video, even though Florida does take an L. If you have any feedback, questions, comments, of course, let me know. I look forward to bringing these videos to you even when there's nothing really great to watch each and every week, as it is some sort of cathartic process to at least see what's happening on the film. I hope you find some enjoyment in them as well, even if it's not the result that we are looking for. Until next time, go Gators.